hunt was the best hunt of my 2018 bow hunting season. And it all started with, well, where were we going to set up? So where I decided to set up was on the point of this piece of property, where I had a bean field to the east and a bean field to the south. There wasn't a lot of activity, it wasn't hunted very hard throughout the year, and so these deer felt comfortable and they would bed up in this point. And so what do you think? You got bedding area and then you got all this food around you. So what did the deer do? Well, the does went to the food source, and the bucks are still rutting, obviously trying to find that last doe. So where did they go? They went to the food source as well. here we go. Deer just starting to pile out into the bean field, and I look up, and there all of a sudden, there's that 8-point that I saw earlier. Have no history with this buck. Don't know what buck it is. Never got pictures of this buck. Just a mysterious buck, one of those ones that shows up during the rut and you never knew about. It is still awesome to see that deer that you don't have on camera are showing up. I mean, especially at this time of year, you're thinking that deer are starting to settle down. No, these bucks are still running wild. They are going miles trying to find their does. This is probably one of the best reasons to hunt the late rut, because the does that are in heat start to dwindle down and there's not as many. Bucks have to start cruising a little bit further to find the does that they're after. I can't believe what I just saw. Maybe I'm wrong, but the way I saw this was this mature buck, this 11 point, this buck that, swolled up neck, not happy, come to claim his territory, comes up, sees this 8 point standing right there, walks right up to him and snort wheezes right in his face. Now, I don't know how bucks like establish their demeanor, but right after he does this, his ears are back, he's all swolled up, and he walks down in the woods. This makes no sense to me. He just goes right down into the woods. And then the 8 point comes in and pushes him out. So it almost looks like to me that he went up there and said, hey, this is my area. The younger buck was like, daddy, this is my area. So they both go down in the woods. And what was pretty cool about it is they started fighting down in the woods. But they were just out of sight where I couldn't get a good video of them. So you just hear it a little bit. You could hear it faintly. So those bucks went down in the woods and they were fighting. And I look over and Pinhead over here is just staring right at me. He must have picked up my wind and he was trying to figure it out. And while he's still trying to figure out what's going on, trying to smell, all of a sudden I look over and I think we had the champion or the winner of that fight. He came right back out of the woods. He came back up to his area. He came up and he made a scrape right in front of me, 20 yards from me, makes a scrape. Pretty cool stuff here. This buck's putting on a show for me and I love it. And then what does he do after he makes a scrape? He beds down 20 yards from me. Now, this isn't a buck that I wanted to shoot, but he's a great looking buck, a beautiful buck. And to have this experience with this same buck coming up, establishing his dominance, going down in the woods fighting, making a scrape, and then he wants to bed down right in front of me, I think this might be my favorite buck of 2018. So I was surrounded. I had to wait till it was pitch black, and I ultimately got picked up. But this hunt was just awesome, and it ultimately showed why the food sources are so key later into the rut. You know, these does are starting to hit the food. They're hungry. You know, they've been getting dogged down all rut. So they're going to these food sources, and where are the bucks gonna go? The bucks are gonna go where the does are at. So they went to the food sources too. This sit was just one that I'll remember for a long time. I mean, how could you not? Action packed, you know, bucks pushing, snort, wheezing, bedding, scraping, chasing, fighting. I mean, this is what every bow hunter loves. This is that type of hunt. So either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this video, because there's more yet to come.